spread one love, okay? Thanks for tuning in to us, the MNM Show.
MNM.
MNM.
Show.
And welcome back, folks, to another Funky Fresh live episode of the M&M Show, coming at you directly from the One Love Massive headquarters in the historic Shaw.
Wow.
Welcome our special guest, Cjioma Iwuoha. Am I saying that correctly? Because Iwuoha. Because I've been knowing her for like 10 years, but I just kind of assumed that I was saying it wrong, but I never asked. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real awkwardly on air right now.
Yes, go ahead. I like when people try first, you know. I hate when folks are like, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm not even going to try. I'm like, why? Don't be lazy. Give it a try. Put in that work.
You know?
Yeah, but it's Cjioma Iwuoha. Cjioma means God is good. Iwuoha means law of the land.
I love it.
Yes, a name with purpose, baby.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're excited to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we are here with our co-hosts, Molly.
Hey.
What's going on?
What up, though?
Good to see ya.
Good to see you.
And we got the one, the only, the real.
J Mills.
Welcome back, Queen.
Thanks.
I'm loving this green. It has like a essence, like a aura it's giving you. I think green is your color.
Is it?
I think so.
The color is green.
And it's yours.
That means a lot.
And
Amen.
of course your
The green
your
life, the green
your
maidens.
eyelashes are on fleek again.
They really are.
Aren't they?
Yeah, I need to give
Every
me some.
week.
They're like fluttering.
I got to give a shout out to Dr. Lashes. That's Dr._Lashes on Instagram. She keeps me fly. Yes.
Yes.
No lamb chops over here.
I
Big
need
money.
to
What?
see
Did she
her.
grow them? Did she?
Yes, bat them eyes.
Amazing. Well,
Thank
ladies,
you.
this week I brought a little symbol just to remind us. We haven't brought out the queen symbol or little show tokens for a while, but I
That's
decided
right.
to bring it back today just as a
I like that.
reminder to all the women and femmes out there, you are a queen. Stand in your dignity. Run your world. Rule the scene. Love yourself.
Bam.
That's what it's about.
In that order.
Yes.
Or,
And wear a crown just because it's fun. Or whatever your crown looks like. It could be, some feathers, or it could be an imaginary halo. It could be whatever. Just do whatever it is that makes you feel a little extra and special tonight, right now.
Hey.
So anyway, I want to know how everyone's weeks have been. It's been a week since we got together. Had a great show last week.
Yeah.
So what's new? Molly, what's been going on in your life?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Like what?
I'm sorry, I'm just reposting this stuff for us. Don't mind me. Life, man. Life. Life moves fast.
You've been living?
Been doing it. Let me just tell you about Mercury.
Oh. Yeah,
Are we in retrograde right now?
We are. We got to talk
Lord.
about
April
it.
22nd.
Question.
Let's pray on it.
What? Oh my God! Thank you so much. I thought I was gonna have to go through the whole show sober.
She was going to eat them,
right
Jay.
there.
I don't
I
think
need
it
an
was in
ashtray too, not to be super needy, but
Rule your world, queen.
this has been one of those weeks where like literally every fucking thing that could go wrong has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Literally everything. Everything.
Everything?
Every Airbnb reservation's had a problem. One of them trashed my place. We tried to film something the other night. A power surge came through, destroyed the brand new $2,000 projector and my laptop. Bzz,
Oh my God.
bzz. I mean, it's like, and all I keep thinking about is, like, the more you resist, the harder it comes back. So I'm just like, it's cool, universe.
Yeah.
It's cool. I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've just been
Yeah.
like pouring alcohol down my throat all week to just,
Cope.
straight up, man, straight up.
Yeah,
Bees
that's a
like that
major
sometimes.
hit.
Dude, $4,000 worth of electronic gear in a fucking second. In a second.
What was it? A power surge?
A power surge.
That's why. Does the power surge protector? It failed.
Well, if we had it plugged into one, I'm sure it would have done its job.
I was
But
gonna
that's
ask, like, did you have it in a power
no.
surgery?
And we were like off site. We weren't here, so it was just like
Mm.
we had everything else on this. It's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like whatever, man. And like it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like, was it this? Was it that? Was it this? Like, well, you know what? It's not gonna make that shit come back, so it doesn't even fucking matter anymore.
Yes.
I'm just not gonna do that the exact same way ever again. But
Never a failure, always
oh my
a lesson.
God, an expensive fucking lesson.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ
Yeah.
Almighty. But other than that, I'm solid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't die. I didn't get hit by any cars this week.
Got groceries.
You know
got
what I'm
friends.
saying?
Got love.
Hey,
Spring is coming.
that's right.
Did you see it's about to be like 70 or 80 this
80 this
weekend?
weekend.
Finally.
What?
Yes.
Can do some
Yes.
gardening if you're into that sort of thing.
I rode my bike today,
Yes.
10 miles before I came into work today.
Oh, wow.
Blah,
Where did you ride?
I do this little loop where I like leave my house and ride through Capitol Hill to RFK, and then I do that loop around Kingman Island, and then up the trail through the Yards Park,
Nice.
and then around the bend, and then up 4th Street, and then down past the monuments, and then up 7th Street, and then back down to here, and it's exactly 10 miles.
Shout out to all the bicyclists in the
Yeah.
District of Columbia.
Yeah.
Saving the environment.
Yeah.
Doing something healthy.
That's right. Putting reggae in the air, too.
You know?
If that has any value at all,
Putting reggae in the air.
Yes, but in the midst of my shit ass week, I did have something super cool. An organization called Jubilee Jumpstart.
Yeah.
We volunteered the company to go film a little video for them. So we went to their preschool and we filmed like the morning coffee talk and the kids coming in and to do like a little video for their fundraising purposes. Hey. Ooh, and now it's time for our techno portion of the night, ladies. Yeah, but who's got the? I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got to hang out with some kids, and that was super cool. Because kids are awesome.
Yeah.
Kids are cool.
Yeah, like this one kid, he was like, "Are you a girl or a boy?" And I was like, "I'm a girl." And he's like, "Well, then how come you look and sound like a boy?" And I was like, "Listen, kid. All right, I'm not on camera right now. You are. Focus on the prize." So it's always good to remind yourself not to take your shit too seriously. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I felt pretty good about myself until I showed up with you,
I know, kids
4-year-old.
Kids are brutal.
Yeah,
So honest. But shout out to Jubilee Jumpstart. They've been around, I think, since like the 70s in DC.
Oh,
and
wow.
they have a Jubilee Jobs program and also housing for like a lot of women. I think it's mostly like women
Yeah.
who are struggling with finding jobs or dealing with, domestic abuse. So it's a great program. Shout out to Jubilee.
Yeah, and they were super cool.
Yeah.
Kim and Dee Dee, just like really awesome women who just like really care about those kids and those families. And it's just nice to be around.
Yeah.
In the midst of,
Mercury in retrograde.
So it's over on the 15th. So I already feel it wearing off, day by
Yeah.
day. It's getting better.
Me too. Jay, tell us about your week.
Fuck boy free. I know y'all already hip to the song for the week.
Yes.
For the song for
But
the
I mean-
month. Life.
Yeah.
Season.
Song for the decade,
Yeah.
the century.
Yeah, man.
You're a fuckboy free.
Yeah, man. It's just a song that went viral. I just had a really wonderful week. Continuing off in the energy from the Women's Holistic Healing Summit. Gearing up for 420. Super excited about all the different businesses and brands that I'm working with because, they're all cannabis related. So it's a great time. Shout outs to Elevation B&B. Shout outs to The Green Life. Shout outs to Green Maidens. Shout outs to GGC, LLC, DC.com. Shout outs to Mighty Jamaica. Shout outs to all the different canna brands that are doing big things, popping. This weekend, we got an NCF event coming up, Reggae Yoga at Songbird.
Cute.
Free fruit,
cute.
courtesy of moi.
Oh shit!
And
Free
my brands
fruit.
and my companies and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Business affiliate. I mean,
Yes,
yoga.
that's
cute.
yoga.
Reggae.
Oh, that's a win-win right there.
That's
I mean, that's just
trifecta.
Come on now.
That's what happens. It's free. There's yoga. There's reggae. There's fruit.
Can you smoke weed?
I cannot say that you can smoke weed.
You can come high.
Hey. Put an edible in your pocket. Work it out.
I don't even know.
But there will be the other elements of reggae and yoga and fruit, which are
Right.
very complementary
That's right.
to
Namaste.
the canna lifestyle.
Indeed.
And that's going to be at Songbird when?
Saturday,
This Saturday.
4/14, 11 a.m. Get your reggae yoga on. Namaste.
Awesome. So you've just been gearing up for these couple of fabulous 420 related events coming up.
And the NCF, 421, I'll be in the health
Yes.
and wellness place
Nice.
again with fruit.
What?
What? More fruit?
Possibly
Free
doing
fruit for the
reggae
people, yo.
yoga?
Free fruit.
It's exciting.
It's important, yo.
Fruit
Eat
is
your
awesome.
pineapples. They make you taste delicious.
Yes.
Oh.
That's for men and women. Eat more pineapples.
Absolutely.
Strawberries are like over 90% water, yo. Eat
Pineapples.
fruit, B.
You know, something else I saw on your, I think it was Instagram or Facebook, you got your letter in the mail.
I
Hey.
did.
I got mine too.
You did?
Yeah.
Me too.
I haven't got mine yet.
I was waiting.
Yes, I got mine. I should have put, when I saw you post yours, I was like, damn, I should have posted
I
mine.
know. I was like, damn it.
I strategically posted it after the period of
challenge.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and now I can post it.
I thought for sure I was gonna open it. It was gonna be like, Miss Roland, you've got a lot of nerve.
So for people who are watching, all of us here today are running on the slate called Dump Trump Dems for Action, and we're all
Yes.
pew pew pew.
Where's the easy button?
And
Nick, where's the sound?
That was easy.
and we're
I'll just do
running together
Yeah,
for
thanks.
the DC Democratic State Committee. So, yeah, Jay Mills, all of these ladies except for me. Hopefully, I get my letters soon.
Man, that would be so awkward.
It would be really awkward.
Because I feel like you're the reason why we're all doing this.
I asked all three of you.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That would be hilarious. But
No, it wouldn't. It would be terrifying for the three of us. First
Yes,
of all,
it would.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit
I
scared.
mean, so it's okay.
Quite lost.
Let's say maybe I shouldn't even put this out in the universe, but I'm just gonna say it for transparency and for comfort. If for some reason I don't get on the ballot or I don't win, and all three of you do, like, this is the beauty about the DC Democratic State Committee. It's open to the public. I can still go. I can still be an active participant as a Democrat in this city there. So it's not like if for some reason I don't get on, I just won't be there
You'll be
for
on that
y'all
list of, like,
anymore. I'll
people
be
who-
like, peace. No, I'm doing this because I'm excited about people's leadership development. I'm excited to deepen my relationships with people who are doing great work in the city. I'm excited to know the landscape of the fresh crop of leaders who are coming up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here. I'm here for you all. But I'm super excited that all of y'all got your letters in the mail already. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to all the love and support that folks have been showing to the slate, showing to my page. All of the likes and all of the shares are so appreciated. We got to keep this energy up as we continue moving forward to June 19th, Election Day. So if you want to help volunteer, you want to help with some campaign concerts, you want to donate some campaign funds,
The queens.
please do. Check us out on Instagram at Dems for
At Dump Trump Dems for Action.
There we
It's the
go.
longest name ever. Again,
It is a mouthful.
Dump Trump Dems for Action.
Sorry.
And if you want to donate, if you want to learn more about
see
each
you.
of these ladies and the other amazing 30 plus people running with us, go to demsforaction.nationbuilder.com.
The number 4.
No.
Oh.
So yeah, the little description on the website. It's Dems for FOR action. .nationbuilder.com. On Instagram and Facebook and on the ballot, it will be Dems for the number 4 action. And that is simply because for some reason on the website we couldn't put a number. So otherwise, yeah. But if you Google it, you'll find us. Dems for Action. Right. Dump Trump, Dems for Action. You see us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got a website. So, yeah. Like, share, follow, and vote for us, like Jay Mills said, on June 19th, this D.C. Democratic primary.
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, yes.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to get some footage of you before you leave tonight.
That's what he said.
We can go upstairs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What kind of footage? Actually,
we totally just did a vote for Jay Mills. She keeps it real.
Yes. Well, Cjioma, I want to know, how's your week been? What's been going on with you?
You know what? I think it's been 50-50, but I'm going to focus on the positive.
There you go.
I got some new clippings, y'all.
They look great.
So I'm here for it. The new Cardi B album dropped.
Yes, it did. Invasion of Privacy.
Yes, and I've been blasting it religiously. And we got some new Drake music. So you know what? My week been good.
Did y'all see that Nicki Minaj is dropping her album?
Yeah, I did see that.
I didn't see that.
Yes, with the Fendi. Yeah, that was a good-ass picture.
Well, I have to check that out. But what's your favorite song or songs on the Cardi B album?
What's that when she talk about getting up?
Get Up 10?
Yeah.
That's my jam. That's the very first song.
Yes.
She says, you knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. It's like the anthem, yo.
Yes,
it's so
the little
inspiring.
drip, the little drip, drip.
Drip, drip.
Yeah. It's a solid album from beginning to end.
Yeah, no, it's solid.
I like it like that.
Yes.
That y'all was like, you
Yes.
better represent.
I
I don't even know what y'all saying, but yes.
Yes, I went out this weekend just so I could hear it around people.
Mm-hmm. Get your twerk on a little bit.
Yeah, just a
And
little
I haven't
bit.
listened
I
to
like
it.
the
You
joint
gotta
with,
listen to it.
the I Do joint.
I need to get on it.
That
Yes,
might be
it's
my
great. I also
And
like
then
the
the
track
Moneybag.
with Kalani too.
Moneybag,
Moneybag is nice
Moneybags.
too. The
Moneybag,
whole
Moneybag.
album from beginning to end, I was like, okay, Cardi B, this is solid, you know. And then it's got the hits that you're like, yes, oh, that's right. And it feels like it's been out for a long time, but then you still hear it, and you're like, okay. So also, Cardi B just performed on Saturday Night Live. Did y'all see her?
Yeah.
And she announced her pregnancy too.
Yes.
It was a great performance too. She did Bartier Cardi, and it had like a kind of like a rock symphony edge to it.
Oh, I didn't
It
hear
was
that
cute.
one. I
Yeah,
saw
I
the
just
Be
saw the
Careful
Be Careful,
clip. Yeah.
It was cute.
Why are people hating on her so much?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
No.
She's
'Cause
pregnant. They
people-
think that her success is like gonna be down the toilet now that she's like pregnant and stuff.
I know I saw somebody like post on Facebook like Cardi B's pregnant, and somebody that was like bad career move, and I'm like, man, shut up.
How you feel about this, Nikki? You
Like,
got a little baby.
I mean,
oven.
I
Well,
think
it's like, are you an artist management expert? First of all, like I feel like people should have to quantify their like opinions by having like actual rights to them. You know, like
that's the beauty of America,
know?
though. Freedom of speech. People love to hate.
man,
And,
do they?
But you know, it's dope is when people hate and that person proves them wrong. You know, and they have to eat their words. But I think Cardi B is here to stay. I really do. I think
I'm rooting
people.
for her all the way. I want her to be successful.
She looks very pregnant. Like the baby will be
Yeah.
here in just a couple months. So.
Yeah, she's been hiding it.
Maybe
Yeah.
less. She's pretty big.
Yeah.
Is it really? Wait, what does she do? Do we know?
Nah, but she's just the way that she's showing.
Yeah,
She's
is
like at my
showing.
stage.
She's showing.
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
maybe
I feel
more.
like she's more. I feel like she's bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just that dress she was wearing or whatever.
Could
But
be, I don't know. But she put her heart into that song. She did a great job.
I love her. I just love how
Yeah.
positive she is about other women.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I mean,
social
she'll be
media's
like, "Bitch,
everything.
fuck you."
Yeah,
but
I was like,
but she, I mean, she will come for somebody, but she's just like overall like not a negative person. You know what I mean? Like, and she actively talks about like supporting other women and not trashing other women and like
Yeah.
being
she's
more aware of that. And I appreciate that. You know?
Yeah.
Her whole life is a come up right now. Like
Whole
I'm
life.
trying to be like I'm trying to channel all Cardi B energy right now. Like in the matter of 2 years. Did you see? I was just looking at her old Breakfast Club interview where she had like the little cowgirl hat or something. She had like an Indian hat on with like the little Beauty for You wig. And I was like, come on, Cardi. Her tooth was still messed up. And she was just so confident. She was bringing that same level of energy that she's bringing right now. So you just got to respect her. You know, she's always believed in herself.
Yes.
So let's channel that Cardi B
Shout
energy.
out to Cardi B. We love you, Cardi B, here at the M&M show. Yes, ladies. So that Cardi B was part of my week. I saw her on SNL, listened to a new album that was inspiring for me. What else been going on in my world? Definitely Mercury in retrograde.
Anniversary.
Yeah, I had an amazing 1-year wedding anniversary. Went to Baltimore. We stayed at a very special bed and breakfast.
How was it?
It was great. It was plush. You know, I felt like Marie Antoinette up in there.
Which room did you choose?
Did you get the hot tub room?
Yeah, we stayed in the
all
same
have hot
room.
tubs.
They do. We stayed in the same room that
The
we stayed
Independence?
last year. Yes, the Independence Suite.
Oh,
It's
nice.
in red velvet and like gold gilded everything. It's very swank, and they serve you the most delicious breakfast in bed. So basically, you just spent the whole weekend like chilling and eating great seafood. We also treated ourselves. We got the Super Nintendo NES Classic.
Wow.
So we played some old school video games together. It was really cute. And my husband, shout out 06 Chris, I love you. He treated me to a prenatal massage. And we met this awesome chick named Vani through this app called Soothe. It's like on-demand massages that come to your house.
I'm like,
Let
right
me
back.
I'm about to say, let me
Soothe,
download that right now.
Yeah, it's an app.
Interesting.
So we met Vani.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait.
What kind of massage? What kind of
Exactly.
Like Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, prenatal massage, not
What about
happy
happy endings?
endings.
Are you sure about that?
I'm not
you
sure
ask?
about that, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
She's
They
a whole
have-
Mary, y'all.
Brazilian massages?
I don't know about that. All I know is that I saw the traditional massages
Turkish
that were available.
massages?
I don't know. What's a Turkish massage?
Mm.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm like,
I can't
I'm
say
like
that on air.
Google.
Don't.
So anyway,
How is a prenatal massage different from like
Yeah.
a regular one?
So, basically, because you're carrying this alien in you, you can't lay on your stomach really because you'll smush the baby. And then if you lay on your back too long, like the baby smushes some like veins or whatever, and it prevents the blood circulation or whatever. So you gotta lay on your left side and your right side. So they kind of massage you from the head to the shoulder down just on this side, and then you flip over and they do instead of like directly on the back. So it's really nice, just soothing. But I do want to give a shout out to the woman who did my massage. She has a website called www.vonilove.com. That's VONILOVE.com. And she's a massage therapist here in the DMV area. She'll come to your house. She also has a studio in Maryland somewhere.
Fort Washington, probably.
In Columbia, Maryland. And if you check out her website, like she does all kinds of dope like seminars on self-love and like self-pleasure and unlocking your
self-pleasure?
Back to that happy.
Are
Yeah.
you sure that this Soothe app doesn't do
well,
other
this is
things?
Vani's
Because they just
own
shut down
thing.
Backpage. You know, did y'all
What's
see that?
Oh, yeah.
Backpage?
I'm surprised you don't know this.
I don't know.
Are you
I don't know what
surprised that she
Backpage
doesn't
is.
know? You don't know what Back?
I mean, I've never been to it. But
What
listen,
is-
Happy ending
I just
situation?
assumed. Well, back in the
We
day,
have-
like the
What is
We have any
Backpage?
experts in
the
here?
newspapers, like the back pages where the personals were. So like I just assumed
Okay.
back page. But it was a tool for sex workers to like suss
Yes.
people out and get business without having to.
Right. Pimpin' ain't dead. It just moved to the web.
Right.
Okay.
And the back,
And,
the FBI seized it and like shut down the page.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Didn't they just do the close down the personals and on
Craigslist.
Yeah, I
Craigslist?
think it's, like, all
so everybody
related.
pretty much went to
Attack on
Backpage,
sex workers,
and
y'all.
then now,
What's going on?
I don't know.
Trump.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
if more men could
Which is why
sell
we're dumping
penis,
him.
then prostitution wouldn't be illegal. If
Wait,
it
what was the
like
first part? If what?
If more men, like if there was really a hot market out, I think it's equal as the one is for women to sell their bodies, perhaps the game would change.
So it's interesting, and I don't think we talked about this already, but you know that show on Vice, and it's called Slut Ever?
No.
And
Yeah.
it's this girl, and she's just like hella sex positive and like totally comfortable with herself. And she has these shows, and like on this one show, she basically goes around the country, like trying to find a place where like a woman, like just showing the inequality and like gender inequality and like just even women being able to have orgasms, and how like you can go anywhere and get a happy ending, but like you can't go anywhere and get a like have
as a woman
someone make you come, like just straight up. So she goes to all these different places and retreats and people, and like no one would like just make her come.
No one would service her.
No one would just service her. It was all like, oh, get in touch with your inner, you know, like bunch of fucking other shit. But she was like, no, seriously, like just like.
And these are the same places that are beating off men.
And and she couldn't get anyone to do it. So it's kind of interesting because it's like a complete.
You know, it reminds me of the conversation that we had when Center for Collective Action,
I was thinking about them.
when Jessica Raven and Chantal Kudo were here. And just, that conversation really awakened me to the fact that pleasure for women is criminalized. Like it's not promoted or accepted. Like we're objects of pleasure, but we're not supposed to like get pleasure ourselves. And so that's why like meeting Vani was exciting for me, and seeing her website that I don't think that Vani is doing what Slut Ever show is, but she's helping women at least take pride in feeling pleasure.
Yeah.
And my mentor, who you know, Adrienne Marie Brown, is what she calls herself a pleasure activist. And so that's vocally talking about, in her personal space, publicly, about having pleasure as a woman and in its many different forms. It is really cool.
I'm a pleasure activist.
Yes, I like that.
I want to become one. So
I
so I want to share something a little interesting with y'all.
Just share. Let's get interesting.
Yeah.
So how do I explain this? Have y'all ever heard of ASMR?
Yes.
You have.
What does that stand for?
ASMR, yeah.
Yes.
I've heard of BDSM.
I don't know what it stands for, but it's like when you watch those videos and they're like, "Hi." It's like really, really soft.
Okay, so
or they'll like crinkle things.
Yeah. So it stands for
really
Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
So like this would be like some ASMR here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like the chick that just be eating pickles and stuff on the microphone.
But like in a really like controlled environment where like,
Or it can be different things. So I became aware. So my first ASMR experience was when I was a kid. I had no idea what it was. And in fact, they didn't even coin this term until like 2007, 2010.
until the internet came around.
Yeah. And I just recently discovered that it had a name like last year, because I would just started Googling. I'm like, what is this sensation that I always feel when I watch certain scenes in movies or hear certain sounds? And I started just looking up like tingling in my body from sounds, and like all this weird ASMR stuff came up. So the first time I became conscious of this sensation was when I was young and I was watching the movie The Breakfast Club. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
And so
I think I know the scene.
The makeup scene.
Oh.
It's so there's the makeup scene where Molly Ringwald is doing the makeup of the Ali Shee character, and it's just like you can hear them breathing. You can hear like the makeup kind of being brushed on her face. You can hear her like blowing her bangs off of her face, and their conversation is kind of whispery.
Right.
And I always just like tingle watching that scene for some reason. So then later, like in high school and middle school, like I started drawing a lot, and I would notice the sound like of the pencil on a paper would be very pleasurable for me as well. But more so, not just when I did it, when I would hear other people and could watch other people draw, that like really does it for me. I get really excited. And then I forgot about it, right? And then like last year, one of my friends posted like a quick little video on Instagram, and it was her like showing her apartment, like how she had decorated, and she wasn't talking. You could just hear her feet like shuffling and like the crinkling on the floors, and I would just like want to watch it over and over and over again.
She's like, Nikki, I have 10,000 plays.
I know.
And 9,000 of them are you. What's going on?
But I would just feel this whole like sense of euphoria, like a tingling kind of starting at the top of my head and like going down my whole body, and just feel happy and
I'm
euphoric.
so jealous.
Yeah.
I wish I could get that from those ASMR videos. I just think they're funny.
Some of them are kind of weird and creepy, but yeah. So I start looking online. I'm like tingling sensations in my body, and see this whole. There's like a whole like
Trying to see what the comments
I
cult
know.
of people into ASMR.
Who is in the room right
So
now?
I want to tell folks there's a website, ASMRion.com, and it has like samples of these classic sounds. Some of them are like walking on pebbles. One of them is like clippings at a barber shop. One of them is like someone whispering. Another one is like feet walking on leaves. All of these different sounds, but you can like make your own kind of like remix or like track with them. It's really cool. Check it out, asmrion.com, and you'll see what we're talking
That's
about.
crazy.
Or hear it.
Or yeah, you'll hear it. So
I'm right here with you on that. I didn't know it had a name, but I think I might have that too.
It could be different.
Have you guys seen the video online of like the claymation little like guy with his butt out? And he's like, oh, hey.
No.
I didn't see you there. We just watched it like 5 minutes ago next door.
I got to hear the loop in.
But it's totally, no, I have to pull this up right now.
Is
'cause
your
it's too
senses
good.
going?
It's too good. And so like, this is a classic example right here.
What
Let's
is
see.
happening? That is
Okay.
the weirdest
I don't know.
thing. It's like an alien.
Why can't I hear it?
Oh my god.
That's an
I don't know.
ASMR video.
Yeah, because why can't we hear it?
That looks really creepy.
Oh, because my Bluetooth is on. No, my Bluetooth is next door, and they're probably like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because, yeah, they're totally like trying to turn it down. They're like, "What is happening right now?"
Well, Jay, what are some of the sounds that you think give you pleasure?
Well, shout outs to Omega School of Recording Engineering, where I studied post recording engineering, basically Pro Tools. What is that? I'm so smacked. Post recording audio editing. Anyway, the moral of the story is that one of the things we had to do was Foley work, where we had this scene. It was 3 minutes. It was a scene from The Fifth Element when he was driving the cab, like a little car chase joint. And I've always been into the sounds of a film, how you can just hear the difference between a B movie and a better movie. It's this subtle,
Like the crackling?
that is where the money is. It's like your brain knows the difference and what it takes to actually recreate all of these different sounds, the right footstep in the right room. Like you can just, your brain knows the difference. You can hear when it sounds like it's in the studio. You can hear when it just doesn't match up for where the words, the sound of what they're saying and the space that they're supposed to be in, you know? So learning how to do it, I just was so in love with every detail. So in love with every detail, every part of it. And I also like the sounds when I'm with a special someone. While music is nice, silence is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Silence is great because I can hear everything. And I realized I really, really was into it when rewatching videos, but I just wanted to hear it. And hearing it was so much more intense than watching it. it was like I heard details I didn't realize when I was watching it.
Are you talking about doing it? Like doing it and recording it and then listening to it?
Nikki, sometimes you're like 12 years old.
Jesus,
Doing it.
gosh.
Is that? I just wanted to make sure it didn't
Yes.
go over my head. Okay.
Doing it.
I know it went over some other people's heads.
You
I'm
know,
sure.
nasty.
We are talking about the nasty
The nasty.
She was really trying to like contain it for you.
and be subtle.
Yeah, you were being real PC over there.
Yeah.
I was trying to
I
because
know.
it's a lot of different things that could be, you know. If you like the sound of it, it's just those things. But I think because of that, like, you know, when I'm talking, I'm very aware of my voice and how to make it sound and how to add things. Yeah, just being aware.
I need to practice.
True pleasure activist right here. Jane Mills.
Seriously.
Yes, yes. Chioma, do you have any sounds that give you tingling sensations?
Let me see. I'm a nice, deep, manly voice.
Ooh,
yes.
yes.
That'll make me tingle.
Baritone, yes.
A little tingly.
Yes.
There is a guy, like there's one, a lot of the ASMR videos are done by women, but there's
Yeah.
like one guy that does them really well.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
a chocolatey black man as
Oh,
well.
yes. That's what I want.
Check him out.
Oh, I'm about to be an ASR star.
I think so.
I didn't even know
Why
it
didn't
was
we
a
think
thing.
of this sooner?
Dude, turn the mic all the way
Seriously.
up and let me
Seriously.
eat chips.
Yes.
No,
For
that's
an hour and
a
30
real,
minutes.
Chicks do.
that's a real
Yes.
thing.
pickle.
Sometimes like it'll just be literally somebody with like long nails, just like touching plastic.
Yep, or like tapping
Or,
or,
like, tapping on
folding paper, making origami, like just that
something. There's
crackly.
no
sa-
other noise. It's just like
Yeah.
super good mic.
I could listen to that stuff. Actually, today I did. I listened to some ASMR for like a couple of hours while I was working. I was just like, you know.
That is so funny. I mean, it's
So-
soothing. I don't get tingly from it or anything, but
If
it's
you were an
interesting. When I
ASR
get,
porn star, that would be so cool.
oh my god,
I would just do weird things like crinkle stuff with my toes.
Yeah.
oh yeah, you would make really good money.
Big bread. Big bread.
money.
You would make so much money.
Just crinkling
No.
weird stuff with my toes. Cereal,
Kale chips.
grass.
You know what I think of it? That's what I keep telling my husband as of late. Like, I really like the sound of when he eats. Like, and I really don't like the sound when most people eat. He's not smacking his mouth or anything. It's closed, but like just the sound of his chewing sounds like really cute to me and gives me pleasure. But
Y'all in
anyway,
love.
Love.
Y'all in love. In love. The sound of his chewing just.
it does. It's so cute.
Yeah, you really gotta love a motherfucker for all that. Like, for real. For
Well, anyway,
real.
I encourage everyone watching to be aware of what gives you pleasure and what makes you happy. That's the point of it. You know, like it took me since I was a kid to discover that this ASMR, this autonomous sensory meridian response was something, and I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no,
you
it's
know?
super cool.
So yeah, be aware of what gives you pleasure.
Does it kind of count as a fetish? Like, can it, like.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be if it's not one yet.
Once Jay gets her toes on this
Oh my gosh!
I mean, some of
Game.
the
How did you
videos-
become a millionaire, Jay? What the fuck have you been doing?
crunching Pringles with my toes on camera. As a matter of
You
fact.
know, and the cool thing about it, there's nothing like unhealthy about it, right? Like you're not inhaling anything,
No.
you're not injecting anything, you're not risking your body
no.
no, it's just like pleasure, you know, just from noise. It's pretty awesome. So
Yeah, you guys got to
And-
check out that video. It's called Hey Beautiful.
The one you were showing us?
And it has 3
With the
million.
weird
Wait, hold on, hold on.
potato butt guy.
It's the best thing ever, but this is like
How many views does it have?
3.5 million.
Oh my
my God.
God.
stranger. It's been a while.
Oh my God.
Why?
I miss you.
You guys hear that?
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can look at my butt.
Oh my god!
feel like I can really be vulnerable around you.
Why
This
is
is not
happening?
ASMR.
Why
This is not
happening?
But
ASMR.
it totally
Why
is.
this happening?
It's like
Why
a.
is
Watch
this
2 hours.
No, absolutely not.
It's amazing. 3.5
Why is this
million views.
happening?
Oh my God.
Why is
I don't
this
know about
happening?
She's
that.
a like a visual
Why is
performance
this
artist. This
happening?
person, I think it's person. I don't know, Kirsten. Maybe it's not a woman. Maybe it's a man. I don't know.
Kirsten
Maybe they
is
don't
a-
identify
Kirsten
as
is
any.
a freak.
Why is this happening?
That shit
I'm-
is so disturbingly
It's
like
really
awesome
disturbing.
though.
I'm more into
And
like.
then he's the end. He's like, I love you.
I don't know.
This
about
was
that.
God.
I don't understand.
Wait, why were you watching this?
Somebody posted this on Facebook years ago, and I was like, what
and
the
you
holy
held on
shit?
to it all these years.
No, it's just earlier tonight it came up, and I was like, "Have you guys ever seen the butt guy?" And they were like, "What?" I mean, that's a
you
good.
watch it all the time.
Dude,
It's
every
a good
morning.
icebreaker. Yeah, it's a good icebreaker.
He's like, "Hey, it's good to see you." I'm like, "You too, boo."
Well, thank you for indulging me, ladies, and learning something and sharing something.
I'm
as
gonna.
well.
I wanna hear your ASMR remix though. Did you save it?
No, I just I didn't save it. I was just like listening to different sound combinations on the website. I didn't save it though. The great thing is it's there 24/7.
Damn.
So again, that's ASMRion.com.
We should see if they want to have a sponsor our show. And they can have
It's
could
so
put their
great.
logo.
Oh
on our
yeah, that would be fun.
And their commercial break will just be like
Crinkling.
Maybe it's kind of like cool. I don't think it doesn't give me any like tingles, but it definitely is like it's kind of like hearing like a fish tank running or like a water.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just something about it that's
Soothing.
like
Raining.
soothing. Yeah.
The raindrops.
Or like when you sit in front of a fireplace and you just hear it like
Yeah.
crackling.
Oh yeah, that'll
You
do
know?
it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It's almost like it's a nice lullaby to sleep
Yeah.
sometimes too, you know, or just to help kind of even meditate and like take your mind off of things because you're just like, at least for me, I'm just like enjoying all these tingles. But anyway, enough about me and the tingles. I want to take this opportunity to get to know Cjioma a little bit
Yes.
more. Cjioma is a native Washingtonian. Cjioma is a fabulous, or has been an amazing youth advocate and organizer over the years. She's a fundraiser, and she is a candidate on the slate with us. So I want to give our viewers a little chance to get to know you in a non-boring, non-typical interview kind of way. But why don't we just start off? Tell us a little bit about what it was like here growing up in the District of Columbia. Why do you love DC? Why do you stay here?
You know what? I actually grew up right down the street, so it feels good to be back in Shaw, to be here to represent. I grew up on 4th and Florida. We moved to like 9th and Westminster. I went to St. Augustine Catholic school. And then I went to Ross Elementary and then like Jefferson Junior High School. And then I went to an African Center school, right? That like instilled a lot of like
Roots?
Yeah. No. But you know, we definitely like traveled to Roots on occasion for like different shows and stuff. But I went to Cjioma Public Charter School. Michelle Reed closed down my school. I hate that bitch. But you know, my dad's Nigerian. My mom's from Mobile, Alabama. I think it's just they met here. My mom came here looking for a job. Met my dad, who was here from Nigeria, like just here trying to get an education. My mom got pregnant and then had me, and I was the first native Washingtonian to join the family. But yeah, like since the age of 14. I've been like doing youth work, right? So I went to Thurgood Marshall on 13th and what's that, like 13th and T? After school program. So there was a program called For Love of Children that currently exists, but they moved to Adams Morgan. And they had something called Determined Teens Take a Stand. So as a young person, I would go to different schools and different like community after school like programs, and just talk to young people about issues that were impacting them. And it was really like liberating for me to like have a voice. It was youth led. We came up with the topics, right? We got to have these really deep, intense conversations, and then like write up what was happening and present it to people in office. So I think that gave me like a sense of power, right? Being able to like talk to people who were on the school board. Now we have like one person, right, dominating what happens with our school system, which I think is like a tragedy. But like I came up where like you had a board of people who determined what was happening like in the city around education. So like I don't know, I just really want to get back to like the old DC feel. And, you know, sometimes it really hurts to come up here and see like how Shaw has like changed. I always dreamed of like living on a block with my mom, because, you know, that's just, I feel like that's everybody's dream. Like, I don't want to be in your house, but you're not going to be on the same block with you.
Close, but not too close.
Yeah, close, but not too close. Yeah, so, you know, I think it's, you know, my mom bought our house for like, what, $450,000? And somebody just sold their house on our block for like $1.6 million.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But, you know, now got pushed out to Ward 7. Shout out to my Ward 7 people. Just bought a house. I'm a homeowner. Hey, the most humbling experience ever. But, you know, the reason why I say in D.C. is, like, there's no place like it, you know? Like, we got go-go. We got personality. We got culture. We have everything, you know? And I just really can't see myself, like, picking up and leaving and going somewhere else, you know? Like, I did it for college, and I'm not trying to go anywhere else. Like, I want to stay here.
DC love.
Yeah.
This deep is deep in me, okay?
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. And now you are raising a child here, another native Washingtonian.
Yeah.
I love it. And she's a feisty one. My daughter's name is Ngozi, which means blessing. It's Igbo. I had her when I was, I got pregnant when I was 23 years old, in the height of just hopping around and having fun. And, you know, I had to get real serious about my life. You know, I was like, damn, I'm about to be a mother, you know? And it was a very scary thing, because at the time I was living up the street at my mama's house, y'all. And I didn't have a job, and I had to make like a decision whether I was going to like really do this thing or, you know, just try it another time. And I decided that I was going to stick to my guns. And a lot of people was looking at me like I was crazy, and, you know, you ain't got no money, you ain't got a house, you don't have this, you don't got that. And, you know, just back in September, I just bought a house. You know, I'm gainfully employed, okay? I got a couple jobs. So, you know, it's just, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have her. I'm so blessed that she came in my life, and I feel like it was just a sign from God to, like, get my stuff together, to live with purpose. She's always looking at what I'm doing. She's always mimicking me. And, you know, not to say that she's not her own person, but, you know, I think it's so important for whoever it is. You don't have to be necessarily a parent, but if you're a role model and you got young people in your life, like, you know, show them what it's like to live a fulfilled life, you know. I think there's too many people out here who are scared to take risk and do things that matter to them, you know. Sometimes I don't go to sleep until, like, midnight, you know, but I'm doing things that matter. So, yeah, I'm a mom. I'm doing it. I'm a single parent. Her dad is involved, but, you know, it's still hard. You know, I gotta make a way. Gotta make a way.
No, this is awesome. This is one of the reasons that I specifically asked you to run for office, because, you know, you and I met, I don't know, I think maybe 8 years ago or 7 years ago. And you were, I think, just recently pregnant with Ngozi. And you were working at Empower DC.
Yep, I sure was.
On childcare, right? Or
I was the youth advocate. So I was the youth organizing intern. And, you know, what's so funny is that before I got pregnant, I was out there occupied, sleeping out there, you know, just like I launched with the criminal justice campaign. So, like, there are a lot of people were coming and wanted to focus on, like, the criminal justice system, but there was no, like, committee for it. So what I did was just, like, emailed a bunch of people who had already been doing the work And then we just started regularly meeting, and then we launched a campaign against for Wells Fargo to divest out of the private prison industry.
Just still going.
It's still going, and we would meet right here on 7th and S in front of Wells Fargo every single Friday, right? And it was a success, but what happened in doing this free work is that Jonathan Stitch, who's a youth organizer for AEJ, I think, right?
Yes, the Alliance for Educational Justice.
Yeah. So he just saw me running around the city, constantly going to different things, and was like, there's this program called Black Organizers for Leadership and Dignity. I want you to apply for it. And I had never heard of it. He was like, yeah, they just, they have this transformative justice model. And I didn't know what transformative justice was, but it was all about how do you organize in communities, right, if you're broken? So what is it that you can do in order to focus and heal yourself before you go out there and advocate on behalf of other people or try to get people to mobilize around a particular topic, right? So how can I educate you on something if I myself is am broken? So and I don't know if that that's how I describe it, because it's a two-prong thing, It's about organizing, but it's also about self-care and being aware of what your own purpose is and how you want to show up in your work. So it's more internal. And I think I was 23 pregnant, and I think it came to me at the right time, because I think at the time I was so focused on what everybody else was doing to me, what was happening to me. And I just was able to rechannel that energy and say, you know what, I'm gonna take control over my life. I wrote down a list of goals that I wanted to accomplish, and I recently found that list because Bold, that was one of the activities in Bold, and I recently found it, and I had accomplished most of the things on on that list. So, and that's how I came into doing organizing work with Empower DC and meeting you.
Yes. And that is part of your story, because I've been watching you over the years go through a personal transformation. Your skin radiates now,
She met me when I was a firecracker.
Her skin didn't radiate the same way. She didn't have the... neither of us had the same dignity of presence and the same posture. I've just witnessed this transformation, but I've been knowing some of the things that you've been going through. And one of the reasons that I just get so frustrated with who currently represents us in the government is because they're so far removed from what regular people are going through. And all of us here, especially you, Cjioma, can testify about what it's like just being a woman, a working class person, someone struggling, someone who's trying to get to a better place, but stays determined, but is in relationship and understands the plight and struggle just of not having it all, And so we need more people with your type of experiences at the table, to be advocating and speaking up for just regular people in this city. This is a city of haves and have-nots, and most of us are more on the have-not side. Even though we count our blessings, we're all very fortunate, but none of us are, I think the average, there's two average incomes brackets in Washington, D.C., and one of them is $250,000 and above for one person with an average salary. The other one is below $15,000 a year. So it's really, really extreme, the wealth disparity that exists in this city. And, trying to, I know the work that we've been doing over the past couple of years has just been trying to make more equity, bring wages up, give people opportunities, and keep programs alive that help people catch a break, when going through difficult times with childcare, housing, rent, transportation, whatever it is. So I'm excited that you're running.
I'm excited to be running. I mean, there's so many things that I care about. And, you know, when you initially asked me, I was like, you know, a little nervous about it, right? Like, what is my role? I feel like, you know, I'm just like an on the ground type of girl. So like, what does it look like for me to like push policy, right? Or come up with policy and introduce it to the DC Democratic State Committee and, you know, to the council to be passed. Like, that's something that's, you know, so powerful. And we, everyday people, like, just have to, you know, step into that power and do what's necessary in order to push the things that we care about. And, you know, being a part of different groups, organizing groups in my adult life, I realized the power of the people. You know, a lot of these council members try to take credit for stuff that folks on the ground have been like fighting for years. And, I think my main thing is just how do you stay grounded? Like I said before, I was a part of Determined Teens Take a Stand, and I ended up recreating something similar with the help of my mentor, the woman who started DTTS. And now I've launched like Melanin Uprising, which is a youth-led organizing collective. Awesome. And yeah, like I just wanted to make sure that young people's voice are at the center. Like, young people have consistently been the ones to like shift and change what's happening in this country, and oftentimes we disregard them and make them seem like they don't know what's going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just make sure that my young people are brilliant. Been to the White House and facilitated workshops at the White House. You know, they've been on the radio, WPFW. Shout out to WPFW.
Hey.
Yes.
You know, some of their first interviews were like, you know, on there. They've like led workshops, right? They've traveled to like to other parts of this country to talk to young people. So, you know, I think we all are doing what's necessary, and you know, we gotta like keep pushing and stand for something.
Absolutely. That's another one of the reasons I'm really excited about our slate. One of our major principles or tenets is to get more young people involved. And I don't know if everyone watching or if y'all ladies knew, but if you're 18, you can vote in the District of Columbia. And I just saw today, like, we're trying to push right now for 16-year-olds to be able to vote as well.
Yes.
So we'll see where that goes. But, you know, it is critical, I think, to mobilize young people and get them involved early because they're the future, right? I'm 36 years old. I'm already starting to get tired. So I'm
You're
looking
about to have a baby.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You can't be tired now.
Well, yeah.
You got that glow.
There's that.
I am tired though, but yeah, you know, I think it's really important when you're in a position of leadership, whether it's in government or in business or in your household, wherever it is, and when you're in a position of leadership, that you're cultivating and developing people to like take over, because when you quit or you get voted out or you pass away, whatever it is, like there's oftentimes this gap, you know, and it's important to keep the progress moving, keep the culture moving forward. And to be able to do that as smoothly as possible, you got to be able to bring people up under your wings, you know?
Yeah.
So shout out to all the people out there who are doing that. All the moms out there who are doing that, all the business owners out there who are doing that.
Shout out to the kids.
Yeah, shout out
Jubilee
to the youth.
Jumpstarts.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 5 now. So yeah, she's
Future
at that
president.
feisty. Yeah, she's very, very feisty.
My son just turned 5.
Oh, really? How is it going? I'm just like, you know, how do you manage it? Like, how do you manage the behavior thing? Because I'm just like, you know, I feel like I want her to have this, like, I want her to be independent. I want her to be able to, like, say what's on her heart and be vocal. But, you know, she gets a little bit too spicy sometimes for me. She be coming for my neck. And I'm like, hold up. I'm your mom, you know? So I'm trying to do the whole, like, no spanking thing. And it's, you know, I slipped up a couple times. But, you know, I want to be able to, like, communicate to her effectively without using, like, you know, without being aggressive. Violence.
Without shaking her to death. What do you do? I've seen J Mills make Jelani do like squats,
Yeah.
which I thought was brilliant.
If it gets really intense, he's in push-up position or sitting on the wall, but I won't spank him. And when he's doing that, I'm letting him know that we're gonna make your body strong while we make your mind strong, because your mind was weak. You lost control.
Yeah.
You know, just teaching him critical thinking about why he did what he did and the consequences.
Like Jay Mills did it again. You'd be like 20 push-ups, 10 Hail Marys.
And you're absolved. But yeah, I mean, it ended up working, like with him just getting interested, because he got just on the whole strength, no weakness tip. So when he does mess up, he's like I'll be like, oh, you know, stay there and count to 50, and he'll try and make it to 100. Like, I'm like, dude, I said 50. You could stop. And he's just, I'm gonna be super strong. So I don't know. I might have a real super strong, super swole.
This might backfire. I don't know.
Not gonna want to sit on the wall, but you know, that's where the mental thing comes in. Also, in understanding why what you did was wrong, and other punishments of, like, you know, taking away time from doing things that they like to do.
Yeah, I do that one. I pull that one a lot.
Yeah.
I want to know, what do the kids like to do in DC? Like, as parents in the District of Columbia, what can you take your kids to do that's like free, affordable, that's fun?
Playground.
That's playground.
Library.
Yeah.
Go play with the kids over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ngozi loves the library. She loves to ride her bike, like, up and down the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you know, with the other kids.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and we got a lot of neighborhood kids, so she's like out there hanging out with them.
Kids are easily entertained by, like, an empty box.
So much like cats.
A ball of aluminum foil.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Stickers.
I told her to make it into something. Go ahead and
Are
make
you
that
talking
into
about
something.
me right now? Or children? Like, confused.
Yeah.
But, you know, definitely games on the phone, or Netflix for sure for my son. He loves watching Netflix. But I got him even on watching things that teach him things. So he's pressed to watch. I'm learning. I want to learn something.
That's cool.
And I got this video of him. He busts a whole freestyle out about the sun.
Oh, you know what? I
Yo.
was someplace where I couldn't hear it, but I saw you posted
his
it. I had to check
first
it out.
line,
You were like,
I
he's
have
got
to see
bars.
it.
I'm hot. I'm the sun. I'm made of gas and helium.
What?
Oh, shit.
Mic drop.
Wait, what?
Yes.
He has a whole little rap.
That's got to be the coolest thing ever to like see like
Yeah, I'm just
a little bit of yourself, but with a twist
yeah,
in
man.
a whole other package.
I know how I was as a kid, and like I was just so inquisitive and things. Like I have to explain to him why. And the only problem now is like nobody else has the time to answer the whys.
Yeah.
Like a teacher doesn't in other group settings, you know, and he wants to know why. If he doesn't understand why he has to do something, he really actually demands an answer. And it has to make sense to him. You
I
can't
can
just
relate.
be like,
What's his sign?
he's a Pisces.
What day?
March 16th.
Okay, because I'm an Aquarius, and
Wait.
I have the same disposition, so I feel like we're close.
I'm his mother, and I have the same disposition. I gotta know why. I just can't let anything ride. I have to know why. I just simply must know why. Because it's just, I just cannot take anything for face value. I gotta touch it to see if it's hot. And my son is my son. So, you know, for something simple, I just have to over-explain it to the end and maybe get a little oddly graphic so he does what I say. Like yesterday, he didn't want to wear socks with his shoes. I'm like, put your socks on. I don't want to wear socks. Jelani, you need socks on with your shoes. No, I don't want to wear
Ngozi
socks.
does that too. What's this with toddlers not wearing socks?
Like, Jelani, if you don't put on socks, then your feet are going to sweat in your shoes, and that sweat is going to develop into a slime, and that slime is going to harden on the bottom of your foot, and when you take your foot out of your shoe, the skin of your foot is going to stay in your shoe, and your feet are going to bleed, and you'll never be able to walk or play at the playground or ride your bike again. I'm going to put on my socks.
Hey,
Wait, I need to write that down.
I'm like over-explain everything.
you know,
He'd
kids
be
are
like,
smarter than you
okay.
think. Like, give it to me straight. I was a live-in nanny for a period of time, and they had me take a parenting class because it was like a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and so it's just at that age where it's just like, just a nonstop struggle. And like the little girl, she would never want to get ready for school. So it was always like an hour-long process. And so the parenting class would they would basically be like, talk to your kids like they're adults, but put the onus on them, like make them accountable. So like, no problem, take your time. But when we get to school, like you're telling the principal why you're late. And they're just like, oh shit, all of a sudden she's like on time every day for school. So it's kind of the same process. Like just tell them what it really is, because it's the same. Like if anybody's like, do this, and I'm like, why? And they're like, because. Well, that's not enough for me either. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know? Even when I was growing up in Catholic school, they would, tell me stories about the Bible and Jesus, and I'd say, why? And they'd be like, well, it just always was. It's like, well, that's not enough.
Right.
I need more.
It does feel
evidence.
a little weird because I grew up in a household where I could not ask why.
Me neither.
Ever. Like, no talking back. Ain't no explanations. No. An opinion? You want to what? You don't want to eat this? You don't want to go here? You want to know where we going? I remember as a child being so frustrated because I just never knew what was going on. I never knew where we were going or what we were about to do. But I understand why I do that to my son too. You tell a kid on Monday about something that's going to happen on Friday. Oh my God.
Every day asking you about it.
Because they don't get time.
Oh my
the
God.
same way.
No, they don't. Not at all.
Do you guys have like a big lie that your parents told you when you were young that you found out like
Almost
much later?
everything in my
That you're
life.
like, that's not true.
I have a good one. So my mom, and she works for a rehab for a lot of years, so I really question why she told me this. But she used to tell me that, like, the blue flowers that grow on the side of the road, like in the summertime, they're just like weeds, and they have like little blue flowers.
Cornflowers, yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that was marijuana growing from people throwing seeds out the windows, and it was called Kentucky bluegrass.
That's a really bad lie.
It's a very specific
like
thing,
real-
which makes me think that someone told her that, and she believed them. But she worked in a rehab. Mom, if you're watching this.
Those are definitely called cornflowers.
Yeah, let me tell you, I've grown a lot of weed, and not once has a fucking blue flower shown up, no matter how good or bad the plant was. Like, I am positive that's not real.
Sometimes I'll go like cut those on the side of the road and make like a little bouquet.
I should make my mom a bouquet.
I
of
do. They're pretty.
Yeah, they are, and they grow out of like cigarette butts and asphalt. They were pretty resilient.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
My mother I never was allowed to believe in Santa Claus growing up. My mom was keep it real. No Santa Claus, no Easter Bunny, no Tooth Fairy.
That's how I am.
Just like no games.
I do that. I'm like that with my child. Like, listen, you're gonna know that this was hard blood, sweat, and tears that produced this shit. Like, you cannot. I do not want her thinking that's some like
magical.
Yeah,
being.
like know that it came out of my checking account and like I put in that work.
It's definitely deja vu in that regard, though. I remember having arguments with my mom because I refused to believe her because the entire world is like, yo, Santa's coming. The news is like, we're on Santa watch. I'm like, Mom, the news said Santa's coming tonight. I don't know how bad you were as a child, but I've been pretty good this year. And Santa's coming. She's like, we don't even have a fireplace. How's he going to get in the house? He's magic. He makes the fireplace appear, Mom.
Duh.
Gosh, don't you know anything? I was just like, I just remember her face and just her. She was so sad. Like she was saying that, one day she just real serious was like, the whole world will lie to you and tell you things that are not true.
That's real.
But you have to believe. I won't lie to you.
That's real as hell.
And I was just like,
son.
yeah, okay, Mom, you got a lump of coal as a kid. Because
Yeah,
you're trying
right.
to convince me
And she was like,
that the whole world is lying and you are telling me the truth. Come on.
Yeah, that's at least you were safe from like the childhood trauma of like believing in something and then like your parents telling you that it's real and then you finding out like that it's not. Yeah. I still remember the day
Oh wow.
vividly my mom had like an ice cream shop on U Street right next to Half Smoke. She used to have where they sell incense now. She used to have an ice cream shop right there. And like she like called me in and she like sat me down. And she was like, there's something I have to tell you. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she was like...
You were cursing and you still believed in Santa Claus.
Well, I was like, it wasn't like that. But it was like, because, when your parents sit you down and try to have a serious conversation with you when you're a kid, you're like, something serious is really happening.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just sitting there and she's like, Santa Claus isn't real. And I'm like, well, at least I got the tooth fairy, and then she goes, and the tooth fairy is real. Then she just went, Easter Bunny. I'm like, what the hell? I was looking forward to growing up just so I could see these people, and it's never gonna happen for me.
How old were you when she broke it to you?
I was in, what grade was that? I remember everything by grade. She would break it to us in like first or second grade. Mm. Yeah, I was in first or second grade.
I think my mom waited till the third grade.
Yeah.
For me, and she felt it was too old.
See, I'm the youngest of 4, so everything was ruined.
Yeah. No fun for Molly.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hip to the game early,
I think my mom, she let me believe in that kind of stuff until a certain point. But I don't think I felt like betrayed or that upset or anything. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't think about any other thing that my mom or, my parents really lied to me about. In fact, I feel like I'd always ask why. And now I'm like, I kind of wish I had Jay Mills for a mom because my mom didn't tell me about not wearing socks and how that would do that. So I didn't wear socks and my chucks were real gross and fungusy. So I'm like, why did she let me do that? Yeah, they were real gross.
Because who's checking your feet after a certain age? Nobody checks to make sure you wear socks. I didn't wear socks, but now if somebody told me the why, then I might have worn socks every day.
Yeah.
I would have been like, yo, fuck, these are comfortable shoes.
I didn't know the whole process.
Yo, my mom told me when I was a kid that I had a certain number of words and steps. So I need to be careful.
Shit.
And when I would see old people in wheelchairs, she'd be like, they wasted their steps. Yeah, that was sinister.
That's kind of traumatic.
I'm fucked up right now.
But now, having a 5-year-old, I understand why you would tell your kids something like that because of how much they talk and run. It'd be like, you know what? You're wasting your steps. You're just running around in circles.
Running in circles.
You only got a certain number of steps.
That's crazy.
I hopped for so long trying to cheat steps.
Wow.
It was funny.
That's why I was asking
That's
about
one of the reasons why I'm a writer. Because I wasn't talking. I was like, let me write. Try and say my words because I didn't want to be old and silent.
Yo, that's so deep.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's so deep.
It is deep.
Yeah.
And here you are. But that's why I was asking, what is there to do, that wears your kids out, in the city because kids need to be worn out. They're like little batteries. They got more steps than they need to.
You know what my parents did? They had us do?
What?
Yard work, man. That'll really wear a kid out.
I did yard work too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
My first walker was a
and
lawnmower.
cleaning.
Hey.
Straight up.
Yeah, I think I started mowing lawns pretty young too. But I grew up with my grandma. She had the bed and breakfast, so there's always work to be done. But I had my nieces and nephews with me this past week. Mercury in retrograde. Wasn't expecting them to be here. Total blessing. But ended up having them for 3 days over spring break. So I was like, what am I supposed to do with this 6-year-old and
run around downtown. The cherry
6 and
blossoms. This has been a perfect weekend for that.
Yeah.
That's a range.
I took them to the Renwick Gallery.
Oh, did you see the
Oh,
bird?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was dope. Have
That's
y'all
super
been
cool.
to see it?
No, I
I
haven't.
haven't.
I'm down though. I'm definitely down.
It's
I
interactive. You can walk into different things. There's a virtual reality station. There's this amazing cathedral where you can leave notes and everything. It's pretty interactive.
Wow.
And it's free. It's free to go in. So
Do you need
best
tickets
part.
or you just go?
No, you just
Was it packed
gotta
when you
go.
went? Or
it was busy, but it wasn't uncomfortable.
I really like the idea of the art of Burning Man, like leaving Burning Man and like being accessible to people that don't have $4,000 to spend.
That's how much it costs
Or
now?
a way to
It's
get
up to
there.
4,000?
It's not
It was
4,000.
400.
No, I mean the ticket is like 400, but like
all the money
you
you
know,
have to spend
you gotta
transportation.
fly there. You gotta get all your
The
shit
trailer.
there.
A
You gotta
tent.
bring every bit of water
Yeah.
you plan on drinking, your tent, everything. So you could easily spend $4,000. I'm sure people get it done for $2,000, but they're like masters of it, and they have friends, and they have like trucks they can put their shit on. But no, it's stupid expensive, and so it's
Yeah.
hella elitist, and there's like very little brown at Burning Man. Like,
Have you been
for
to
sure.
Burning Man?
No, but I lived in California years ago, so I knew like a grip of people that went like before a lot more people on the East Coast started going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that was like 16, 17 years ago at this point
Yeah,
when I
it's-
first learned
I
about
think
it.
it started in the 70s.
I mean, I like that concept, but for me, like, I would only want to go to like see all that art because it's just crazy, like combinations of like math and science and art, like flaming dragon cars and
Yeah.
you know, flaming skee ball and just all this crazy shit. But, you know, I don't want to go to the desert for a fucking week to do that. And like, I don't want to do drugs in the desert because like,
It's hot.
it's really
Yeah,
fucking
no.
hot. And like, you need to sleep at night and you don't want to sleep at night if you're on, that's when you want to do your drugs. But then that means the next day you're going to just be like drugged out in the fucking desert. And that kind of sounds torturous to me.
Yeah.
I would
Like-
sleep during the day.
It's so hard.
would
It
be a
is
I would just need
nocturnal
tons
creature.
of water.
hot though. It's so hot. So if you have a super camp and setup, you could pull that off. But if you're like, you know, so I respect it like for the people that go, but more importantly, to be able to bring that art, because all these like Silicon Valley dudes like spend all this money on like like funding these art projects, and they sit at Burning Man all week, and then they sit in like a storage unit the rest of the year.
Well,
Like,
they're pretty dope. You can see some of them at the Renwick
Exactly.
Gallery right
Definitely
now.
gonna go check them out.
yeah,
I think
for
the
sure.
next couple of months.
And
yeah,
to show
it's
kids that,
amazing.
you know, like I would love to get a program going where we like move those like Burning Man made creations to like parking lots of schools around the country.
That'd be so cool.
You know, because like if you could show kids like how cool math and science and art is, because I think that's one thing they really like don't fully express is like art is
and
math. Like,
recycling.
yeah.
Yeah, everything's like used materials.
Well, not
are a lot of
necessarily,
it.
but like they're just like all about like leaving no trace, and I mean, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely not. No, they waste a fuck ton of money building that art, like for sure, and it's not all ecologically conscious, but like everything can't be. But as far as the event itself, they definitely like. They literally go through and like rake the desert. They break up the desert by plots, and everyone has their area. And there's people who are like assigned leaders of those areas, and they have this stuff called MOOP, like matter out of place. So like they will literally like reiki, you know, like or like you know those like sand boxing. They will like rake your fucking part of the desert, and like any cigarette butts or feathers or sequins that they find, like your camp actually gets fined. Like they don't fuck around. Which
Are
I
you
respect.
sure you've never been to Burning Man?
You know, I just know a bunch of fucking hippies, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know a bunch of people who go to Burning Man, so I respect it. But I'm really glad to see that art is coming out so it can
Yes.
inspire some young minds to, like, take that mentality and help, you know, shape our future.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take my kids on a field trip there.
Yeah.
The
I
young
highly
people.
recommend it.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the art at Burning Man is, like, very, like, healing in a lot of ways. It's, like, very moving, touching stuff. Cool to...
Yeah, very interactive.
Yeah.
Well, I think the display's at the Renwick Gallery for like a couple of months, so go see it before it's gone. You know, I also took the kids to the building museum, and I went up and I was like, "Yeah, I heard you have like a ball pit here," and they laughed at me. They were like, "That's from like 3 years
Yeah.
ago or something." I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh yeah." So
What do you do with all those balls?
I was like, "Don't you have like a Lego display here too?" So yeah, go see cool stuff when it's
Star
actually
Wars.
happening in your city. But it is 10:20
Oh, shit.
right now. It's almost time to wrap up the show. We've had a couple of business shout outs today. We who did we shout out today? We shouted out Green Life and
Oh wait,
Dr.
I'm
Lash.
I'm wearing
Dr.
this
Lash.
shirt, so
what's on your shirt?
Hey,
I can't really see what it says. Something
hey.
watershed.
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 Yes,
What is that?
locally made, local business that uses organic trees to make awesome slow burning papers.
Ooh.
These papers are for people who smoke backwoods and can appreciate a nicely rolled cigar. Really love the company. Dope papers. Watershed. They're local. And they're Black owned. So definitely check them out.
Can
Do
you
you know
connect
their
me?
website?
I need a new paper sponsor.
Oh, yeah? Got y'all. Watershed LTD. I believe is the site on Instagram, online. Yeah, make sure you follow them. Dope company. Again, it's local. Shout outs to D.
Well, shout out to Watershed. I also want to give a shout out to DC Jobs Justice this evening. We posted on the MNM Facebook page earlier. There was a worker town hall happening today that they were leading to educate folks about what's going on with wage theft in the city and what you can do to reclaim your money if you happen to be stolen from. So shout out to DC Jobs Justice for doing that work. You can check them out at www.dcjwj.org. And did you have someone you wanted to shout out?
Who do I want to shout out? You know what? I just went to the MLK Deli for the first time. So I want to shout them out. They had amazing food there. And I know that they're relatively new.
Where are they at?
They are up in Congress Heights, actually, right off of MLK. So right there, like a little bit past like where MLK and Malcolm X are.
And it's just called the MLK Deli?
Yeah.
Hey.
So everybody's been posting, and I was getting real mad because I was like, if one more person posts a picture of a sandwich, a wing, juice, a lemonade, I'm going to get real upset that nobody brought me anything. So I took myself over there and had me a nice little sandwich. It was good. And I also want to shout out Have Smoke because we're in Shaw, and it's Black owned. It's owned by a young person, and he's been really supportive of like a lot of different like political folks, people who are running in the city. So
That's awesome.
I want to shout him out.
Facts.
Speaking of, and then a shout out to Provision 14 around the corner at 14th and V. Just hosted our Dump Trump Dems for Action happy hour yesterday,
Yes.
which looked really, really fun.
It was
It
so
did.
much fun. I enjoyed it. We had a
missed
good
it.
turnout. We had a great turnout, and we raised some cash, some
Yeah.
coins. So it was really good.
Yeah, so thanks to Provision 14. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. I think it's at Provision DC. That's how you can find them. But the restaurant is called Provision number 14. And I think they do like communal style like seating and dining. And it's real cute inside. So
Yeah, that's my first time there.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember when they were building it. When all my little friends used to hang out, play chess out there.
Cute. Cute. Well, yes, thank you again to all our viewers. And with that, I want to pass it over to the magical, the mystical, the one, the only, the real,
J. Mills.
for that metaphysical moment.
Man, as you know, it is never planned. It is always guided by love. One love, always. I was thinking about all these different thoughts, man. Shout outs to Mercury, still murking. Mark's still out here murking, and I'm caught again kind of in between thoughts. The one that really kept going over my mind is about perspective and definition and character and things. I was thinking about how we often are lost defining ourselves based on the body and not the mind or the soul. And, you as a human being, you are in three parts. You are body, you are mind, and you are soul. But if we ask you who you are, you say, I'm a woman. That's your body. You might talk about where you're from. That's your body. You might say what you do. Again, that's kind of getting into the mind. But I was thinking about the who you are and what you came to do. Because we can get so lost in the what we're doing and what we're trying to get. We say that we want to get money or something. We want to be rich, but that's not really what you want. There's something beyond that want. You want to be benevolent. That's why you want to have money. You want to have money because you want to give back. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to be compassionate. and you feel like to love people in the way that you want to love them, you need more money to do so. It's not that you want the money. And if you only are focused on the money and not on who you are and what you came here to be, you can get very, very lost in this path called life. You can get so lost in this path called life. And it gets very difficult sometimes when our character is tested, when we forget what it is, what this gift is to be in this human body as this eternal spirit of light that is nothing but light. It is only light. In the realm of the absolute, we are light. But you only know what light is in the relative realm in opposition to darkness. Now, in this relative realm, you can feel some kind of way about the day, or you can feel some kind of way about the night. But the sun and the moon, they just are. Hot and cold just is. How you feel about it is what makes it real while you're in this body. So when you come here as a pure beam of light, and in this light, personified light is love, light is compassion, light is benevolence. But what does it actually mean to be compassionate? We can say I'm a loving person, I'm a good person. We can say I'm benevolent and I want to give back. But if you are truly benevolent, you got to give to people who will not give a fuck that you gave to them. They will not thank you. They might even spite you for being in a position to give them something that they could not get for themselves. Are you sure that you came to give, or did you actually come to feel some kind of way because you gave some shit? Is your ego looking to get stroked, or are you truly, truly benevolent? Is that what you are? Because you said you was. The universe is only here to prove it. Oh, yeah? Oh, you compassionate? Yeah? You compassionate? You're a loving person? You going to still be loving when everybody hates you? You going to be loving when they misquote you? And your words just go all out, and now you just getting trolled, people just dragging you down. Are you still a loving person? You know, all of these different things that happen to show you who you are. I've just been thinking about that, you know, and being proactive in every situation in life and remembering, putting yourself back together again as this pure being of light. Remember who you are. When you say that I'm this and I'm that and I am good. And even for those who decide that they are not going to be this and that, you know, you can never get away from who you truly are, even when you decide to be who you're not. I've said this before about how sometimes when you're just in the knot of you, that you just be like, you know what? This ain't even me. That's a crazy feeling to have.
Yeah.
To be so in the not me of you that you have that one moment in the whole, God, what the fuck? This ain't even me. You just wake up in your life like, what the?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've had that moment.
Wake up in a relationship. Wake up in this job. Like, what the?
Yes.
We both at that. Woo.
This ain't even me. I got to change everything and step into the you of you, you know, and it's never too late to be who the fuck you are. You always are whoever you've been. You are the sum of who you've been. It's when you didn't make that choice that allowed you to know what it feels like to make the right choice and to even know that that choice was right. Who has had something and didn't know how good it was? What? Let's talk about childhood. Who had something and didn't know how sweet it was? Could they tell you? Could they ever tell you? Could they ever tell you? Nope. You just got to live it. Some things you just have to know, to experience, to truly, truly understand. And different people, your spirit will call you to different things that you just got to see, because the universe, again, it delivers on what you want and what you say you want. We got to be focused. Got to be focused on who you are and what you want, why you came to shine. Don't get lost in the things. Get lost in your dreams, yo. That's my metaphysical moment, man.
That's your metaphysical
Shine.
moment, and this is a major wisdom nugget up in there. Major.
That's very
awesome.
metaphysical for me.
We were feeling it.
It's never too late to be who you are.
Be who the
Never.
fuck. Yo, people gonna
Yeah.
hate for no reason. Give they ass a motherfucking reason.
Yes.
Shine.
Yes.
Just shine. Like, who are you not to shine? Somebody told me that our greatest fears are like when you start dreaming and you realize how powerful you are.
Yeah.
And it terrifies you.
We were talking about that
So you
last show
stop.
or the show before. Yeah.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
what am
I've
I
been channeling
thinking?
Everything I wanted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everything I want.
Ooh, you scare yourself.
Yeah.
That's some powerful stuff, yo. Step into your magic, man.
Yes.
You deserve it. Keep
I
repeating
know.
it.
Step
Believe
into your
it.
magic and get more ASMR in your life.
Yeah.
Wow. But thank you for that beautiful, positive, very true metaphysical moment. Thank you, Cjioma, for joining us on the
Yes.
MNM show. A lovely
Yes.
guest.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. And
You guys need audience chairs or something so I can come more often, Just watch all your interviews.
well, we've changed it up, So we got
Yeah,
seats
now we
over
have
Yeah,
more.
we got
Now,
some,
yeah.
Now
some
this is the
celebrity
new
guests.
I'm a
studio.
crash
Yeah.
viewer.
Yeah.
I
We can
I
even,
feel like
like,
I was becoming the crasher.
We
for a
can even
little
move the
while.
mic a little easier.
But thank you again, Molly, and the whole crew at One Love Massive
blah.
for hosting us, for making us sound good and look good with these lights and this setup. One Love Massive. Please like, share, and follow at One Love Massive as well as at M&M Show One Love. And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Peace out.
Peace.